Over the past 10 years, working with patients that have lots of mental health issues, especially ADHD, L-Theanine is by far my #1 recommended supplement that I give my patients. And here's exactly why. The very first thing that has proven time and time again with L-Theanine, the research backing this up, is it is shown that it increases alpha brainwave activity. Now, why is improving alpha brainwave activity so vital and important? Because when we look at our different brainwave activities, alpha brainwave activity, when we're in that state for longer periods of time, it is a relaxed, concentrated state. It's where we're more alert. And when we're more relaxed, we could be in that alert state. And so when you're in this state, you could be more focused, more productive, you're better at school, you're more productive at work. It's a state in your mind that you want to constantly be in. And with my ADHD patients, they struggle in this. So when we incorporate something like L-Theanine, we find that that activity improves, and therefore their concentration, their focus is improved significantly. The second reason I love using L-Theanine with my patients is I will test lots of different labs with my patients. And what I do find that tends to creep up as an issue is, especially people with ADHD and other mental health issues, is their brain chemistry is typically way off, whether that's dopamine, serotonin, or even GABA, or different amino acids that help and build and support those different neurotransmitters. And what L-Theanine has shown in research, and I've seen it even when I'm testing this and retesting and seeing levels improve, is it helps serotonin, GABA, as well as dopamine. And all of those help with our mood, help with our stress levels. It helps with our focus and motivation throughout the day. And so you could see that why I love using this, because it is a vital key to use. The other thing I like using L-Theanine is if those levels are high, so if serotonin levels are too high, dopamine or GABA levels are too high, L-Theanine can help lower those down. You heard me, is that it can both increase and also lower. It's a great neutralizer because it knows how to the body knows how to utilize it and balance that brain chemistry where it needs to be. So this is why, for the most part, most people can use L-Theanine effectively. And the other really big reason I love using L-Theanine is most of my patients with ADHD tend to have anxiety, stress, a lot of other mental health issues along the way. And L-Theanine has been very effective in reducing anxiety and stress because what it does, it puts you in a very relaxed state without it being sedative. So there's a lot of medications, a lot of different supplements that can be used to put you in a relaxed state. But the problem is it might be sedative where you feel drowsy throughout the day and feel more tired. Whereas L-Theanine doesn't have those sedative effects. And that's why I love using it. It's something I can have my patients use throughout the day versus having to just use it at night because it might be too sedative for them. But with L-Theanine, not a problem. Now, along those same lines, another thing that I love using L-Theanine for is reducing blood pressure if it's due to stress. So a lot of people will have high blood pressure because it's due to their stress. It also could be diet related, but it can be a combination of both. And so when I use L-Theanine, and especially if it's due to stress, I find that L-Theanine effectively helps lower that blood pressure because of the stress-induced high blood pressure. And the other really beneficial thing that I will see when I'm using L-Theanine with my patients is another big problem is sleep. And I love using L-Theanine to improve sleep, especially if it's also due to stress. Because it gives you that more relaxed state, it can relax the mind at night and help that person sleep, but also it can help improve dream quality. So dreaming is very important when it comes to sleep and help you to also have good circadian rhythm of having good quality of sleep, because if you get good quality of sleep throughout the night, then you're going to have improved focus and energy throughout the day and ultimately be more productive and efficient. But the thing is, supplements can be tedious to always have to be taking. And so a lot of times what I'll be doing is transitioning my patients from not have to rely so much on supplements. And a great thing that I will have my patients switch from if they don't want to have to constantly take a pill of L-Theanine is switching them over to green tea. So green tea has L-Theanine in it, and it can have the same kind of effects of all these different benefits when you're using something like green tea as a replacement than taking just the L-Theanine supplement pill. Now, what about side effects when it comes to L-Theanine? Now, generally, L-Theanine is pretty safe. I rarely ever have issues with my patients taking L-Theanine. The side effects that I have seen that do creep up is sometimes there's certain people that are very sensitive to supplements, no matter what supplement they take. And what L-Theanine can happen is, especially at a high dose, is they will feel too relaxed. And so therefore they don't feel like they can get much done because it's causing them to be in too much of a relaxed state. Now, it usually doesn't cause sedative effects, but for those who are sensitive, it can cause that. Other things, it could cause upset stomach, Some people who have a very sensitive stomach can cause that when you're doing high doses of L-Theanine. So that's just something to keep in mind. But for the most part, most people generally do fine with L-Theanine, but always check with your doctor first. Of course, that's always a given. Now, what about the dosages and when to take it? Now, this is going to vary from person to person, but you should watch this video next where I go in deep talking about the L-Theanine dosages and when to take it. I go all in detail in this video, so watch this video next.